Hello. Dang, it is so windy out here. Hey, like it is super windy. No one said it was my room. Like it is so windy out here. Like I want a rug like that. I'm gonna look for a rug like that for my place. Anyways, I'm gonna be working on some things, but no, because I don't have money to buy anything from Temu. Yes, we had a service, but we haven't buried him yet. I don't know why people are asking. No, we haven't had like an actual like burial service because, and this is what I want to say. The lady that has my brother, her son went to high school with him. So she has him safe. For people saying, oh, they discarded his ashes, oh, they got rid of him. No, I'm in contact with her because she knows and understands that I can't pay to have him buried. So I don't know what it is why people keep saying like this and this. Like if you don't know this situation, I've been telling you, like people just want to be negative for no reason. Like you think I'm gonna let my brother get discarded and then to literally be like, well, you know, your brother went da 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 da. If I'm moving from one shelter to another, I can't ensure that something's not gonna happen to him. You don't know how these shelters work, especially because I went to the hospital, to the emergency room, and the one time that I went, you know, last year when I tried to attempt to take my life, they literally packed up my stuff. They stole my snacks, by the way. They stole my sodas, my drinks. And if they would have packed up my stuff, they probably would have took my brother's ashes and they probably would have said, oh, we lost him. Oh, he's lost. Like, these are the things that happen at shelters and they're real. Like, there was people that kept their loved one with them, right? There was people that had urns there, but they rarely even left anywhere for that specific reason. Like, these shelters are very horrible in how they treat people. If they treat disabled people and elderly people the way that they treat them, what makes you think that my brother was not going to get lost? And thank God that I didn't have him, you know, because my mom was being constantly moved from one dorm to another, so that wouldn't have been great. Like, you could say, oh, why didn't you leave him with your mom? Like, my mom would have gotten lost in the process of her moving, and then she had to go to the hospital for that whole time during Thanksgiving. Like, these are the things that I'm focused on, is like getting a place, because my mom is old. She doesn't have that long to live, and I'm trying to spend as much time as I can with her. You know, I'm trying to spend as much time as I can to do things. Like, I'm not going to have any time to do things if I'm always focused about going to a job, you know, and sometimes a job it's not satisfactory. If I'm not doing something that I love, then I really don't want to do it. I don't want to be a robot to the machine, a robot to society, you know, like, you know, and saying like social media is not a job for someone. Who cares? Like, the thing that really bothers me is like, oh, well, they're making more money than you. Okay, well, then social media is a job. You can't just excuse one over the other. If social media is not a job for someone, it doesn't matter how much money somebody is making. Then you need to say social media is not a job for those people either. Whether they're making money or not, then social media is not a job for anyone. You can't just limit it to certain people. That's not how it works. Exactly what I just said. I just literally said that you're saying social media is a job. It's just not for me. It is a job for me. If it's a job for everyone, then it's a job for me. You can't say that. That's not how it works. It either is a job or it isn't a job. You gotta you gotta pick and choose. It's not a job or it is a job, and for everyone. You can't just say not just for you. So if you're saying it's not a job, then it's not a job for everyone. You gotta pick one or the other. You can't just say, oh, it's not a job for you. No, you gotta say one or the other. I can't do vlogs because of my safety. And also, I'm not at a place to do vlogs. And then when I have a place, I'm not going to have anything to vlog either. And I have to be careful what I film where I'm at. So, it doesn't, well, the thing is like when it comes to not making enough, the reason why I'm not making enough money on social media, and I am going to state why I'm not making enough, is because I don't have a place where I can fully do what I need to do on social media. To be honest with you, I have been worried about moving from one place to another. I lived out of a car. I tried to do the best that I could with my content. I can't fully work on my content because I'm not at a place where I can, especially if I'm wherever I'm at. If I'm outside, if I'm somewhere, I have to be mindful of my safety. I don't need people showing up. I don't need people, putting me in danger. I have to make sure I have a secure place first before I can be able to post things. And when people say, oh, you're making this type of content, you think this is going to make you money? No, it's not making me money, because to be honest with you, videos have to be over 1 minute. I don't know why I have to express or say that. So videos have to be over 1 minute long. 15-second videos do not count. So any of those videos that I was posting that were like below 1 minute is not making money. It used to make money. You used to be able to post 15-second videos and they would make money. And to be honest with you, in the position I'm at right now, I can't focus on that. There's a lot of things that I really want to do. Like, I want to, receive, get paid, or maybe do plus size try on clothes hauls. I want to do more of the reviews, like getting free samples and reviewing those. There's a lot of things, unboxings. I just want to do like outfit ideas. I just want to, look up like plus size outfit ideas and recreate them. Things like that. There's a lot of things that I can't do where I am at. I want to do more artistic makeup ideas, like how people do like the certain types of different makeup looks, not like regular makeup looks. There's a lot of things that I want to do that I don't have money for, that I literally can't focus on making more money online, because then and to be honest, if you're not hitting 10 million views on Facebook or Instagram, you ain't really making thousands. No, I didn't get banned from TikTok. It's just that every time I go live on TikTok, I get reported for bullying and harassment. And I also want to be able to play music. I also want to probably get a gaming computer and go live and game. Maybe play some Fortnite on live. Do things like that. I'm not too entirely sure. I just want to make sure that when I'm going live on TikTok, because, and also TikTok does not allow you to use a green screen and just talk like this, because then they could say unauthentic whatever. I can use a green screen and like be on the camera, but I can't because it's dark. And to be honest, where I'm at, I have to be mindful and careful of my surroundings, because if someone sees my surroundings, they show up to where I'm at. No one said that life was easy and free. That's the thing. When you guys listen to me, I'm not expecting anything to be free. Learn to use your common sense. Where did I say everything was free? Considering the fact that some of y'all literally spend your hard-earned money on people who don't deserve it. A lot of y'all was buying James Charles makeup. And to say, oh, not me, who cares? He had 40 million followers. He is doing well off for himself. I could care less. You guys put your money into things that are not even worth it. You buy all of these expensive makeups, all of these expensive shoes, these clothes, these designer bags. Nobody bats an eye when Michaela Noguera, which people do talk about it, but Michaela Noguera literally is out here over consumption. The amount of designer bags that she has is insane for one person to have. To have all those designer bags, that's overconsumption. A lot of these celebrities overconsume. Like, the world's largest Hermes bag collection was had by Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star had the world's largest Hermes bag collection, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, what the heck? Each bag is $100,000. That's a house payment. That's overconsumption for people. Like, it is so crazy to me the amount of money people go to the lengths of spending. Right? God forbid someone asks for their brother to be buried and people just crap on that. Like, it doesn't matter about getting a job. I'm not going to spend my life working 10 years. My brother shouldn't have to wait 10 years to be buried. That literally makes no sense. I'm not going to be making $4,000 right away to save it. If I was working, I have to get a place. All my money's going to go towards bills because I had to get a car. I'm going to need car insurance. Gas is high. Electricity bills are high because I might have to pay my own electricity. There are a whole slew of things that is going to have to go into that. And then if I'm working and I still can't bury my brother, people are going to be like, well, why don't you bury your brother? So I'm going to end up causing myself to be evicted to bury my brother, because then I'm going to stop paying my rent and stop doing the things that I need to do to just bury him. I don't have time to be waiting years and say, hold on. Let's wait for a place to live just so my brother could be buried for years. I do not want to be stuck somewhere for years, stuck under a bridge or wherever the case may be, wherever I'm at for a year. That is insane. I need to get a safe place to live. You can't have one or the other. It's not asking for a free handout. If people don't want to give, they don't have to. What is the concept of that? Why do you sit here and make it seem like someone's holding you at gunpoint and making you do something you want to do and say, oh, well, don't donate to her, she's lazy? If that's the case, then you guys that are all broke are lazy because you should have more money. You sit here and you say having a job makes you more money, then why don't you have more money? You're lazy. You could have more money if you just take on another job. Instead of having one job, why don't you go get two? That's lazy. The reason why you don't have money is because you don't want to work a second job. You see, that's the mindset of what the government wants you to think. If you're going to sit here and call someone lazy, then someone could point the finger at you and say, well, you can take 2, 3, or 4 jobs. How come you don't have more than one job? How come you're still struggling? That's lazy. You see what I'm saying? The same way that I'm not dumb. This is what people are saying. This is not my thoughts. This is what people are saying. They literally said if I go to work, then I can have more money. If that's the case, then why don't you have more money? And why are you working only one job instead of 2? Use your common sense. By using your logic, then you realize how stupid it is, right? You said I'm dumb. So then that logic is dumb. So you realize what most people are saying is dumb. Hello? Logic? Yes, they did. I can show you the literal comments and I can show you the DMs. And they have said it in my live stream before. They said if I worked, then I would have money. They said I would make more money if I had a job. You don't make more money unless you have a college degree. And then, even if you have a college degree, you are not, how do I say, not entitled, what is it? You are not guaranteed a job in your degree. You have a hard time finding a job with your degree. I don't need to go work for hours and spend and waste my time to get a degree only to be told that I can't get a job and then struggle. I'm not going to sit here and struggle looking for work. That is insane. Like, that is crazy. I'm not gonna struggle having a degree, and then they tell me like, oh, you don't, well, and then they don't even hire you even if you qualify. That literally makes no sense. Why do people need a piece of paper to prove that you qualify for a job? You know what? I could literally go read a book. I could literally educate myself on whatever job it is and prove that I qualify for that job without a piece of paper, paying hundreds of thousands of dollars I don't have. Nobody has $100,000 lying around to be able to pay to go to a university or a college. Yeah, I can go to some small community college or whatever, but if you don't have a degree from a university, it don't even matter. They don't really care about the small community college stuff. Then you have to work your way up to a university. I could go back to UNM if I wanted to. I could pay off all of that and go back to UNM. I got accepted to a university. What good is that? Why do I want to go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to a school, to a university, only to literally not be able to find a job? That literally does not make any sense. And for people that say that that's not going to happen, you live in a delusional land. You live in delusional land. You don't live in the reality of the real world. Look around you at the real world. Go outside instead of acting like, what's her name? Now I'm trying to think of her name. I have her face in my head, and I keep wanting to say Judy Garland, but it's not Judy Garland. Now I can't think of her name. She's in The Sound of Music. You're just like her in The Sound of Music. Like when she's singing "The Hills Are Alive," like your life is like a musical. Like everything that you do, you think like, oh, it's just all peaches and cherries, and it's not like that. The real world is harsh. It's tough. It's jacked up. People literally are messed up in the head. Like it is so crazy. Like, seriously. I don't know why I want to keep saying Judy Garland. It's not Judy Garland. But it's really true. Like, you guys live in this delusional land. Actually, I read Don Quixote, so that's crazy. Like, your life is a delusion because you literally sit here and you think that because you have it easy, everyone else has it easy. That's like someone saying that racism doesn't exist because they've never faced racism. They're like, oh, I've never seen racism, so it doesn't exist. No, you're not understanding. Like, people gotta stop making suggestions, and I'm not trying to be rude. People gotta stop trying to make suggestions to somebody that does not want, like, you cannot sit here, and I'm not trying to be rude, but please do not tell someone what to do with their loved one. My mom does not want my brother's ashes spread anywhere. If his ashes are spread somewhere, that is not going to give her peace. She wants to at least have him somewhere where she can go visit. Trust me, I know about spreading ashes. My uncle's ashes were spread at the lake. My friend didn't have her ashes spread anywhere, and I wish I would love to go have a place to visit and talk with her. And I don't have that, and that's not my choice. I can't sit here and tell her family how to treat. Yes, my brother was cremated, but to sit here and say, well, maybe there's some non-free ways that you could do things. I'm so sick and tired of that. For someone to be buried, it should not be that freaking expensive. Dying should not be freaking expensive for people that can't barely afford it. And if they can't afford it and they're homeless, there should be programs to help at least the family bury their loved ones. Like I said, CVRC only gave us $6,000, up to $6,000. That went towards the service. There was no money left to bury him. On top of that, we need like another $4,000. So what's 4 plus 6? like almost a little over $12,000 to bury someone. Nobody has money like that lying around. I wouldn't have to ask or come to the internet for a burial. My mom wants him buried where his grandparents are, where his grandmother is. Those are my mom's wishes. My mom's wishes are not to have his ashes spread somewhere. That is a horrible thing to tell a mother's like, oh, I'm sorry you can't afford to bury your son. Let me spread his ashes because I'm going to go against what your wishes are. And we didn't even know what my brother really wanted. We never even had a talk about that because it was never a thought in our mind that my brother would be dead. So we didn't know if he wanted to not be cremated and just be buried. We didn't have that conversation because there was not a thought in our mind that my brother would be murdered. And that heartless people would come online and have the nerve to say, oh, you asked for that. Gun violence happens every day. So did those kids that go to school that passed away because of gun violence, did they ask for that? When you say stuff like that, do you really think about what you're saying? Did those kids at Sandy Hook deserve what happened to them? Did those kids at Columbine deserve what happened to them? Because of whatever you may believe. That is so crazy to even think that heartless people don't even think before they speak. You never know who could be watching a live and you're telling someone they asked for gun violence. That to me is insane. Nobody asked for anything. You don't know what's going to happen when you step outside the door. You don't know if you're going to make it out alive when you step outside the door. You can't even go shopping in peace without having to worry that the grocery store is going to get shot up. You can't even get on a bus without worrying someone's not going to pull out a gun and start shooting. You can't even go to a church without worrying that someone's going to go in there and start shooting everyone in the church. These is real world problems that people love to block out and desensitize themselves from. And it is so heartless and it is so crazy. The amount of DMs that I've gotten because of that horror movie that I posted telling me I should have put this and I should have put this. No, what you should do is STFU and put super glue on your fingers and glue your fingers together so you don't type. Stop giving people unsolicited advice that did not ask for it. It's just my take, but it's so annoying. No one asked for your unsolicited advice. Stop telling people what they shoulda, coulda, woulda, did. What you need to do is stop doing whatever it is you're doing. Someone needs to show this stuff to your parents to their face. And if they offend you, they're just as horrible human beings as you. And then, it's not even a shock. If they defend you, then you were raised that way. So I wouldn't be shocked if your parents raised you with disrespect. My parents never raised me to disrespect anyone, whether it was online or offline. Some of you guys lack respect and you think it's okay. You sit here laughing at the fact that someone gets harassed like that's funny. But if you was walking around getting half of what I get, you wouldn't even last on social media. And when someone tells you to get off, you would have deleted your account and got off. You would have quit social media. Some of you guys can't withstand some of the stuff that I've had to deal with or go through. You know what I mean? And for me, here's the other thing. So yeah, I saw that they have these necklace things, but for me, I didn't really feel comfortable carrying like pieces of his ashes around. That's my preference for reasons, and for me, I would like to have him buried. To be honest, I already knew, and sure enough, right? Let's be honest. His ex tried to steal his ashes. She literally called the place and was like, she literally tried to tell them that she was picking up his ashes or whatever. And the lady called me to tell me that she tried to get his ashes, but she needed to talk to me first. And then she said she wasn't going to give her his ashes. I'm like, good, don't give it to her. And I told her what happened. What kind of a heartless person does that? And for me, things get stolen all the time. And I don't want to have his ashes. Someone could find out where I live. And then all I know is I could hear people saying, steal his ashes, take his ashes. People are heartless like that. They'll even go and dig up people's graves. When Elvis was buried, and I think it was Elvis or it might have been another president that was buried, they dug him. They tried to take his remains and literally he had to be reburied. And I believe it was Elvis was buried at a cemetery, then he ended up being reburied by his parents. But basically it was a whole thing of trying to steal, like, people will try to steal someone out of the grave, but mind you, the place where he's at has surveillance, security, so he's secure. If anyone finds out where he's at or tries to take his ashes, that's not going to be possible because he's well secure. But there are some wackadoodles out there, some wingnuts, some loose-screwed people that are very, very disgusting human beings. The disgusting, I've seen some traumatizing things that people have sent to me. I'll tell you, one of the pictures that they sent me that this is more so of evidence. Like, like to show these things to the police for police reports. They sent me, someone literally was murdered and his middle face was missing because they took it out with what looked like the staff or whatever that, like, what the Grim Reaper carries around. It was a very disgusting video of someone's dead loved one. That's not even the half of it. Someone sent me some woman's bloody private parts in a email. These are the things that I've had to see. Like, not only that someone's severed head in a plastic bag. Yeah, the middle of his face was cut out. It was like you could just see the inside of his face, like matter. It was just like, like they say gray matter. I didn't see gray matter, but he was bloody. He was laying there lifeless, limp, with the middle of his face was missing. And that was around the time someone sent me the email saying that they were going to come to where I was staying at because I got doxxed, and said that they were going to rape me and my mom. And this is coming from people that are defending people that told me that they're manifesting that I get raped by my dad. The same people that said that they've been literally trying to speak into existence that I get raped. But yet you want to sit here and talk about how you're for women, how you're against a lot of these things, but then you're advocating for rape. And then you want to sit here and victim shame someone and say they're not SA. How are you going to talk about someone victim shaming someone when you guys literally sit here and try to advocate for rape? It's so weird. And I have these messages and I have blocked them out and sent them on Instagram in my story, but Instagram takes it down because people report it, and then it gets taken down because they don't want people to see the truth. So where am I supposed to share this stuff? I shouldn't have to be walking out and then have that worry of someone say I'm going to rape you. Like, these are things that I have literally received in my email. I'm going to rape you and your mom. These things are not okay to say to someone, whether you don't like someone or not. And then you guys sit here and you defend it and say, no, we're not defending that. Then why haven't you called it out? Then why are people reporting that when I post it? Why don't you want people to see that? And you literally, right? I'm not talking about incest. I'm talking about what people have said. Use your common sense. They said they was going to rape me and my mom. I never was talking about incest, you weirdo. Use your common sense. When someone said that they manifested I get raped by my dad, they sent a photo that made it look like they took a picture outside of my apartment. People was literally posting in a Discord, which I still have that on my Android, by the way, it's backed up, where they were posting pictures of them driving down Montgomery on the freeway, pictures of them with plane tickets saying they were going to fly to meet me at my apartment. This is so weird. At certain random parking lots in Albuquerque saying, we're going to meet up with Neighbor Chew and then we're going to meet up with you. That guy has kids. Imagine random weirdos on the internet talking about they're going to meet up with some guy, right, who probably doesn't even know you're showing up, by the way, to have some meet and greet and put his kids in danger and make his kids unsafe. But you're talking about how predators, and you're talking about this and that, and you're talking about how you're for the safety of kids, but then you go and you're weirdos. Like, that is weird to me. If I ever said, hey, let me go meet up with this person, you know, unannounced, by the way, and show up at their door, someone who has kids, you really don't care about the safety of people. Yes, and I have all of this proof. Mind you, they literally made, even though it's a joke, I don't find any of that funny. They literally made a whole post where they were planning to kidnap me, and they added some stuff to an Amazon wish list, which was like a gun, an air horn, a rope, a mask. Just literally planning to kidnap me. If I ever made anything like that, and let's talk about Nova, since everyone wants to bring up Nova. Nova's the one who said he would hire a hitman. Is that not against the law? He's lucky I haven't called the police and reported him for that, because they could investigate him for that. He literally has a whole hit list. Isn't that not a manifesto? Isn't that not something to be reported to the police? But not. Everyone literally wants to put that online and laugh about it. That's not a joke. That is serious. It's not funny. What is funny? Two locals going at it. No, that is weird as and if I did that to anyone, then y'all would have an issue with that. If I literally did that to someone, y'all wouldn't be sitting here saying stuff like that. He said it. There's a large content creator on YouTube that made a video and didn't even tell me. Someone sent me the video and I saw it. He told them that he was afraid of me, which I don't know why Nova's afraid of me. I didn't threaten him or anything. He said he was so afraid of me that he hired a hitman because he was afraid. It's in the YouTube video. It's a large content creator. It's on YouTube. And that person, he didn't even have the audacity to tell me anything. He didn't message me. He didn't say anything. He went ahead and made his little video so he can have his bills paid, got hundreds of thousands of views, and didn't even tell me that my life was in danger. All for some freaking views. This is why I hate T pages, because all they care about is making money. They don't care about the lives they're hurting. They don't care about the safety of anyone. All they care about is getting their story out and making money off of someone's story. This is literally a video on YouTube. And then someone sent me his hit list, and I am on his hit list. There is literally a paper of him writing down people that he has a hit list on. It's on TikTok. You can do your research. This coming from a guy who literally has a disgusting audio going around of him literally being like, you know, the audio. The South Park audio. This coming from a guy whose uncle gets mad because he does not get attention from him. That is weird behavior. If you really want to talk about incest, let's talk about him and his uncle. Why is his uncle mad that he's not getting attention from him? It's so weird. Why do you need to give your uncle extra attention unless something sexual is not going on? That is weird. He goes online, he gets angry, he gets mad over his uncle saying, my effing uncle, this and that. Like, they act like a freaking married couple, and it's gross, and it's disgusting. And his kitchen looks like hoarders. I received a picture of his kitchen from someone that took a picture of his kitchen, and people want to sit here and talk about me. His literal place is hoarders. I have that picture. Someone sent it to me. You love to pick and choose, and then you literally sit here and defend these people and be like, well, you know what? I stand by Nova. The same Nova who wears diapers and admitted, which I have screenshots of that too, that he likes to sit in soiled diapers. So he pees in these diapers and sits in them. He literally got on call with a 14-year-old girl and sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or whatever it was. This is on TikTok. Or what was that song? I think it was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star while wearing a diaper. He's literally talked to minors. He's literally dated minors, and then people say you. I have never dated a minor, nor have I ever went online and admitted to liking minors. And actually the people that I liked have been a year or 2 years younger than me, or the same age as me, so let's not go there with that one. And then people try to make it seem like they were underage. You know, when I like them and saying like, oh, well, they were underage at this time, I was underage too. I do not understand this logic. It's like when they say, oh, you're over here, you're weird for posting a young Justin Bieber. Me and Justin Bieber are the same age. We were born in the same year. Use your common sense. If I was a believer at the time that he was underage, I was also the same age as him. We were both the same age. Use your common sense. Yeah, he might be months older than me because my birthday is in June and his birthday is earlier than mine, but we are both the same age. I hate when people do that. They're like, oh, why are you posting young Jonas Brothers? I was a teenager when the Jonas Brothers came out. I was also a teenager when Hannah Montana was a thing. I was a teenager when High School Musical happened. I was in high school at the time. And it's so crazy. Like, they'll even bring up Sesame Street or Barney. Like, if those shows didn't exist when I was a little kid, when I was like a toddler or a baby, Tickle Me Elmo came out. That was the most popular thing for everyone back in the day for Christmas. My parents tried to get me a Tickle Me Elmo. It was sold out everywhere. They couldn't even get me it. Like, do you guys not comprehend these things? Like, you literally try to bring up stuff that literally has no relevance whatsoever. You forget that I was once a teenager. Like, oh, why are you posting young Justin Bieber? You're weird for that. Okay, well, we're the same age, so do with that as you will. We were both born in the same year, just like I was born in the same year as one of the One Directioners, or One Direction, and I was born in the same year as one of the BTS members. Like, it is so weird. My summer plans, I'm going to try to go swimming, but I don't know, I want to go swimming a lot, but, you know, there's a lot of things. I don't have used pads on my bed, so I don't know what you're talking about. You're going to listen to a maid? So now we're back on the room. That is so crazy. You're talking about a maid who literally got fired for talking about me. The cars always speed through here, and that's dangerous. You know what? I literally said that I'm working on getting a place, and what you're doing is complaining while your mom's probably slowly passing away. Because why aren't you visiting with your mom or even hanging out with her and spending time with her instead of being on here talking about what I'm doing? My mom's not rotting away at a shelter. I literally talk to her today, and I talk to her every day, and I send her videos on Instagram that I think she would like videos of people making Snoopy food themed stuff. Like, someone made like this cake with a Snoopy design on it. Like, I sent her a lot of things. I've sent her kids that, like, you know, they're doing talent shows, or kids that, one of the kids that was an actor in the Michael movie that was doing a dance to Michael Jackson. Like, unlike you, I have a conversation with my mom every day, and you don't even know what I'm doing. Kick rocks. Hit your big toe on a rock. I don't care. Something needs to happen, because some of you guys literally are so annoying. Like, kick rocks. Oh, you're doing this. It is literally 9 o'clock. Everything is closed. What do you want me to do? I'm going to get off here and I'm going to get ready to go watch an episode or two and go to bed. At least I can be on here and talk and defend myself and speak freely. You're mad because you don't even either A, you're too afraid to go on live and say what you want to say. You're too scared. And you're mad that other people can do what you can't. I would never be a hater like that. And you think calling me a hog is going to affect me, but it's not. That's the only thing you know how to do. You don't know how to have an adult conversation. You love to call people childish. But then You don't have conversations. You just call people hogs. Literally. Oh, you're a hog. Okay, so I'm a hog. You got nothing better to say? You want to tell people to go get a job, but then you turn around and insult them by calling them a hog. Then you want to say that you try to debate me. You're not going to debate me on crap. Because if you debate me on anything, you're going to lose. A debate is not going up there saying, well, you're a predator. Oh, you're a hog. You're a stupid bitch. That's not how debates go. And if you think that's how they go, then, insulting each other in a debate. When you watch the Republicans and Democrats debate, when they start insulting each other, that's when I turn it off. Because I'm like, at this point, politics isn't about what's good for the people. It's about insulting each other, calling each other names, and not caring that people can't afford to live. I don't care what you think about some orange man. I don't really care. We know that Donald Trump is a deplorable human being. But I'm not going to sit here and watch two candidates insult each other back and forth when people can't afford to live. When children are dying in the streets because they can't afford to have a place. Because they can't afford to eat. Because when it's winter time, they freeze to death because they have nowhere to live. If you really cared about these issues, that's why America is so messed up the way that it is. Fucked. It's effed up. Because you guys really let them bend you over. It's like that, you really, how you gonna let a man bend you over? Seriously. You guys have no backbone whatsoever. You don't use your voice for what you should use it for. The power to speak up and tell this government, hey, we want living wages. No, you just take it for what it is. You guys have your priorities all jacked up and you want to tell people how they're supposed to live. You ain't living any better, sweetie. That mansion made of cardboard boxes. That car clank when it turn on. You barely make it to work every day, but you trying to talk about how someone else should live? Like, miss me with that one. I'm so sick and tired of people saying you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm doing the best that I can. I don't have to carry 1,000-pound rocks on my back and hike up a mountain and do above and beyond because someone tells me to. I'm going to do what I can do. There are a lot of content creators who are struggling. There was people who was making money that were making loads of money that are now homeless. Make that make sense. Spice King? Ever heard of him? You could be up there 1 minute and be at the bottom the next minute. You act like you're better than everyone, like you're on this high horse, like you're the king of the land and everyone else is peasants. I don't know who made you king, but whoever made you king made the wrong choice. I mean, no, they didn't make the wrong choice because sometimes kings and queens are corrupt and evil. Just like the government's corrupt and evil. They get away with a lot of things like, being predators and hurting and harming kids and doing all these sexual things because they got money. They can pay off the police. They can pay off whoever they need to pay off to continue to keep doing what they're doing because, there's a whole thing called the Epstein Island and people got away with it. A lot of men got away with it for the simple fact is that, they have money, they have power, so they could pay all these people off, just like how Bill Cosby got away with everything that he did. Yeah, he did face some time in jail, but did they really get justice because he's out of jail? He's a free man. That is so crazy to me. What about the dad that did what he did to his daughter for 4 hours and then she unalived herself and she's no longer here? And then, on top of her no longer being here, right? He is out of jail. He's not even facing jail time. What about the amount of people that have raped children, all these people that have hurt and harmed children that are not facing any jail time whatsoever, and then you want to sit here and say, that's you. Considering the fact that I have no charges, I've never hurt or harmed any kids, and you just want to be a weirdo and justify those people. Whenever I say something about someone that has talked crap about me, then you justify them. You're a predator because you defend predators. You guys sit here and defend Leslie when it benefits you, but then turn on Leslie when it doesn't, which is so hypocritical of you to say, we stand by Leslie, then you're a predator. You stand by a predator, you are a predator. You are what you stand by. Stand 10 toes down. If you're being funny, if you're cracking jokes, there is nothing funny when it comes to her accuser literally having no justice whatsoever and came to me. I was in a group chat with him and another person as we talked about the disgusting things Leslie did to him, that he no longer has an account while she's able to have all these accounts and get away with what she did. And then she got caught because they said there was some people that pretended to be minors and she sent them nudes again on Snapchat, and I've received all this proof. And they even told me, like, yeah, we pretended to be a minor and she got caught up again. How many times does James Charles have to do something? You know what is so weird is that MAGA, and this is the thing that literally makes no sense to me, they drew the line at high gas prices, but not when it came to hurting and harming children. Just like how people drew the line at James Charles when it came to him talking down on the 9-to-5 worker, but you didn't draw the line when he got caught sending nudes to minors. What is wrong with society? And to sit here and say, not us, not I. You don't talk about these people because you only love to harass one person, which is me. But you're not talking about these other people. You're talking about me because you're obsessed with me and your weirdo obsession of me. A lot of you guys have this weirdo obsession. You guys aren't posting about ICE. You guys aren't talking about what's going on with Mega. You aren't talking about what's going on in the real world. You aren't saying anything, but you expect other people to speak up. You have a platform. Use it. And then when someone says something to you, it's always, oh, you know what, there she is again, nurse. She's out. She needs her medications. She's having a manic episode. She's crazy. What is crazy about telling you what the real world really is? I see the real world for what it is. That does not make me crazy. If I'm crazy, then you're saying predators do not exist. There's nothing crazy about that when I see something on my Instagram page every day of a child getting harmed, of some child not getting justice because they were raped, of women and children getting raped in other countries. I just saw a very horrific video of a young black girl in Congo talking about how she can't even sit down, how she can't even go to the restroom and use the bathroom because it hurts too much. But you guys want to sit here and harp on someone who's homeless and harass someone who is homeless because it makes you feel better, but you don't want to talk about those real world issues because you could care less, and you want to harass someone for no reason because it makes you feel good and you go to sleep at night? That's crazy. Who cares if I'm regurgitating stories? People need to hear about it because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And that literally is something that I'm like, oh, and you see a lot of that so much so that you desensitize yourself. That is disgusting. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. That was heartbreaking. She can't even sit down or go to the restroom because she is literally, hurt because she was raped. This is the stuff that goes on in society, and people try to act like this stuff isn't happening. Oh, this is what we need to talk about. And a lot of you guys literally make jokes about things you don't know anything about. Sorry, the 20% battery came up, and when I'm finally able to talk about everything, I'm going to talk about everything. There are some things that I'm not going to talk about that's personal, but things that I'm going to talk about, because you wouldn't be defending this stuff. And maybe you would because you don't like me. It's so crazy. Anyways, my phone is at 20%. It's gonna die. I gotta get my spot ready and go to sleep and then get ready and watch my brother wouldn't think it was funny. You don't even know what my brother thinks. My brother cared about a lot of people. A lot of people knew him in Albuquerque. He was really known in Albuquerque. He was liked in Albuquerque. So to literally say something about someone's dead that you don't know is really weird, because I can go find your relatives, dig up your dead relatives and start saying stuff about them. And you wouldn't like that. And I don't even know them. Some of you guys got to be careful, because if you have your dead relatives in your bio, then I wouldn't be saying anything. I'm trying to be as nice as I can. But I could literally go there and be like, what shoes they got on in their casket? Was it them Shaq shoes? Was it Pumas? What was it? Because I can literally go there. And you don't want me to dig up those skeletons. Some of you guys really need to learn how to respect people. Because I could be ruthless. But I'm being respectful. Geminis are really ruthless. I could be a ruthless MFer if I wanted to. I'm holding myself back and trying to be kind on the internet. But if you talk about my dead brother, I will take it to the pits of hell. I have. That's why people hold a grudge, because they cried. They sobbed. Because I said something about their dead grandmother, and they got mad and took it out on me. Well, maybe you shouldn't talk about my dead sister or my relatives. Once you talk about my dead relatives, your dead relatives are off limits. I made MFers cry on a Discord because of what I said, and someone literally told me. I could have had a right mind to go on live and say, boo-hoo, cry some more. I'm trying to be nice as I possibly can and hold myself back before I say something so ruthless that you wouldn't even like it. And then people will say it. I'm not going to, because I can't say what others say, because then I get canceled. And then you guys act like a bunch of big babies. If you really want people to say what they want, then don't complain when they say something to you. You know, anyways, I don't got time to be worrying about this negative stuff. I'm just gonna go relax and get ready to go to bed, you know, and get some sleep, because unlike you, I'm gonna go sleep peacefully and go enjoy whatever I do on my phone, whereas you're gonna go into a group chat and talk about me and think about me when you go to sleep, because a lot of you are weirdos, and you probably even dream about me in your sleep, which is really weird. But anyways, have a good day or night where you guys are. I will see you guys later. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Anyways, good night, guys. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Some of you. To the haters, I don't care. But anyways, good night, guys.